Hey guys, how are you? If you are like me and you have been bombarded with messages and looking at your Instagram today, worried sick that IVF is going to be outlawed in South Carolina, this video is for you. And do me a favor, please share it with whomever you need to share it with, because I am not here today to have a debate about anything. I'm just here to present you with what the actual facts are about this bill. So, as some of you may have gotten some emails or seen some posts, there has been some very strong wording saying that our ability to practice IVF might be greatly taken away or outlawed. And what I want you to understand is that I understand that perhaps this is the interpretation, but I believe in giving information that is factual and sharing factual information and not basically spreading fear, okay? And I do believe that the best intentions are there. And certainly as somebody who has gone through so many cycles, 17 cycles, and I certainly had frozen embryos, I just want to present you with the facts so that you know exactly what's going on. And maybe this will make you feel better, maybe it won't. And again, I am not here to debate any of this. I spoke with one of the individuals who actually wrote these laws and had questions and got some clarity, and I wanted to share that with you. Okay, what you do with that information is up to you, but I thought that perhaps some of you would sleep a little bit easier knowing factual information, okay? So, this is what I know, okay? There was a bill that was going to be discussed today, and it is Bill 3549, and basically, it is a abortion type bill. And again, I am not here to debate whether or not you believe in abortion or not. That's not what we're here to discuss. But basically what this bill is trying to establish is that life happens when sperm meets egg, which for most people who don't go through IVF, that is true. So I'm not sure why people are going to debate whether or not that's true. But again, not here to debate it. I'm just telling you the facts. What I know is that this bill is trying to say that life is established and when sperm meets egg, okay? Having said that, the way that it could impact IVF, although let me say, IVF is not getting outlawed. IVF is not going to be illegal. Doctors are not going to be like it was back in the day to give an abortion. That is nothing like what's going on here, okay? The reason people are worried, the reason people are upset is because this could impact freezing embryos, okay? Now, I should say that this individual, when I asked the question, I said, I quote, this person said that IVF itself would not be outlawed. The bill tomorrow, which is also 3774, which was discussed today, has an exception for IVF also. So there's another bill that was up for today, which we're not discussing. But the most important thing is I asked about, what happens when you go through an IVF cycle. Basically, as it was explained to me, that Bill 3549, and I have it in writing, the only thing it's trying to prohibit is healthy embryos being discarded in a way that is unjust, okay? And again, please, I need to keep saying I am just presenting you with the facts. This is not my opinion. These are facts. So, basically, if a doctor, let's say you go through an IVF cycle and you get 20 eggs, right? And the doctor puts 2 in. You have 2 choices at that point. You can either freeze the good eggs and save them for a later date, or you have the choice of putting them in at another time that perhaps wouldn't be as advantageous. But basically, the one thing, as I understand it, is you can't just decide to toss away these perfectly good embryos that could turn into life, okay? So I'm not sure where the outlawing of IVF is coming from, because I do not see this. I've asked the question, like, is IVF going to be outlawed? Are doctors going to go to jail for... No, that's not what this is, okay? I just want you to rest easy and know that if you have IVF done in South Carolina, it is not going to be outlawed. It's not being outlawed. The way the embryos are going to be looked at, you can't just willy-nilly decide to kill those embryos. Okay? That is what, a Southern conservative state wants for their constituents. And I would hope that, we're living in states where we're voting for constituents who are like-minded like us, right? So, that in lies the problem, is that unfortunately, when people get nervous and scared, disinformation happens, right? So again, let me back up. Here's what we know. There are some bills that are up. They are, pro-life bills. There are exceptions for embryo freezing and exceptions for IVF. Nobody is going to die because the mother's health is at risk. I assure you that's not going to happen. Nobody in their right mind, that would be dumb, right? So essentially, this is where it is. IVF is not going away. The piece that South Carolina is, hoping for is just, not to discard those embryos. And let's be honest, you are spending so much money on IVF and getting these embryos together. Do you want to just discard them? Like, let's talk about the issue here. Like, somebody who's going through IVF, those embryos are precious. Those embryos are precious. And I get it that there is a cost to keep them frozen on ice. I get it. I'm hoping that these lawmakers will also make allowances, just like we can have children and have them up for adoption. I think it would be great if you could, if that was something that you wanted to do, if you were so inclined, that you could freeze them, you could offer them up for embryo adoption if that was something that was good for you. Or the third option is, putting them in at another time, where perhaps wouldn't be the best time for them to get pregnant, but you're not just, discarding them, discarding life, having no reverence for life. And I think that that's where the bill is coming from. And again, we're not here to debate whether or not you agree with that. I'm just presenting you with the facts. The facts is IVF isn't getting outlawed. They're just trying to put some barriers on it. Now, mind you, I should say, none of this has come to fruition. These are things that they're looking at, but this should not be a surprise to anybody who is living in a conservative southern state. I mean, this is, something that they've been after. And again, we're not here to judge, do you agree with abortion or not agree with abortion? This is not my opinion. These are facts coming right from the mouth of somebody who wrote the bill. We're not debating about, the bill is written. I'm just giving you the facts. And what you need to know and take away is IVF is not getting outlawed. And if you're working this hard and spending all this money on these embryos, I think it's, in the past, you've been able to just let them rest. And that's the piece that some people are having a problem with, okay? But that doesn't mean that it's going to affect the fact that you can cycle or retrieve eggs, or heaven forbid, even if, you have to, do something for the mother's health, okay? So I just really encourage everybody to listen, to all the information around you. But part of being a good scientist, part of being a good advocate for yourself is not cherry picking what you listen to and who you listen to. You need to take in, everything, but you actually need to get to the bottom of it and to the truth. And it just kills my heart, the rampant fear that I see happening today. It just kills my heart seeing how people are scared. Like, if this is your only option to have a baby, yeah, I totally get it. But I think that you can't always believe something just because it's posted or just because it's been said. And that's why it's not like I went and looked at this bill myself. I asked somebody who wrote this bill, hey, what about this? Hey, what about that? And yes, it would be great that when people are making these bills, that they actually speak to the people that it affects them. But I'd be hard pressed to believe if you're upset about this. I totally get it. But just listen to what I've said and to the pieces that could potentially be impacted. But actually doing IVF is not being outlawed. Doctors are not going to jail. Like, I've seen some crazy comments today, folks. Crazy comments. So I need everybody to take a breather. And if you have further questions, please feel free to email them to me or DM them to me here or PM them to me on Facebook, whichever you choose. I would be happy to bring those questions to the lawmakers and get some information for you. But I get it. I get it that you're scared, that, this information is out there and going around. And if your only choice to have a family is to go through IVF and you're seeing this, it's freaking scary. You have every right in the world to feel that way. So I hope, even in some small way, that this video has been helpful to that end and that you can breathe a little bit easier. So do me a favor, drop me a comment when you watch this, thumbs up, high five, whatever it is, and please do me a favor, please share this with somebody who is freaking out right now, just so that they can breathe a little bit easier and understand what the facts are. Again, we're not debating why it's being written or how it is what it is, but here's the facts, okay? That's what I believe in, sharing the facts, sharing information. Sharing information is not bad, okay? So I hope you were all doing well. I hope that this was helpful. And, definitely please let me know if there is something else that I can help clarify or explain around this whole situation. So enjoy your night, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye.